Democrats and Republicans, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a Democrat, but they have f***ed us over for the last 40 years, and for once, and not all of them, but for once, we're standing up as a union, probably the only one right now, saying, what the f*** have you done for us?
Like, hey, Democrats, hey, listen, I need you to listen. I've been voting for you all my life. I've been a loyalist to the Democratic Party. I'm starting to feel like this love isn't shared. It's not a two-way road here. And I'm starting to look at the receipts, and it's not adding up. So one thing that I've always stressed throughout this channel, and my channel has only been around like a year and some change. But one thing that I've constantly noticed and I've expressed to you guys that the Democratic Party, and I'm pretty sure anyone and everyone could agree to this, is one thing that holds back the Democratic Party is they do things in increments, if that makes sense. Like, they do enough to make you survive. Like, they're not gonna like just go full gangster, like, healthcare, for all for free, education damn near free, just wages up to $18-20 an hour, or at least minimum wages increased, just bold policies like that people would just, their brains would literally explode if a Democratic nominee or president promoted those things. But they do just enough to where you can't say they're as bad as the Republican Party, but you know that they're chucking and jiving, which I don't know why I said that. I'm only 37. Like, that's a 70s term. But anyway, it feels like they're always kind of like making excuses, or like they seem incompetent, just like the student loan debt. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, just get it done. Like, that's what people like about the Republican Party. Like, when they say some things, even though it's crazy and it's damn near, authoritarian or dictator, they kind of get things done. Like abortion, tax cuts, demonizing immigrants and black folks and Mexican folks. Like, that's what their base wants. And the Republicans give them that, so it kind of reminds me of like iPhones, like each year when a new iPhone comes out, they'll come out with a feature that Android came out with, 10 years ago. And it's like, if these other countries have accomplished this and the data shows that it's beneficial not only for their citizens, but their government isn't like in shambles, and it's like, you're giving us these small like changes, but like this should have been done 10 years ago, like, so let's go ahead and watch Teamsters. This is, obviously a union organization, and he explains it exactly how people are thinking it. So let's go ahead, boom, right there. Take a watch, and let's see what he has to say.
These politicians, both sides, Democrats and Republicans, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a Democrat, but they have f***ed us over for the last 40 years, and for once, and not all of them, but for once, we're standing up as a union, probably the only one right now, saying, what the f*** have you done for us?
Yeah.
And I'm getting attacked from the left. And we've given, since I've been in office 2.5 years, we've given the Democratic machine $15.7 million. We've given Republicans about 340,000, truth be told. So it's like, people say the Democratic Party is the party of the working people. They're bought and paid for by big tech. Those big tech companies.
Yeah, tech is the new fossil fuel, man.
Right?
That's what I say.
Right. And you've got the Republicans who are now saying, hey, we want to be the working class party, right? And okay, you've got a great opportunity right now to do that. And the Democrats, if 60% of our members aren't supporting you, the system's broken. Yeah. And you need to fix it. Stop pointing fingers at Sean O'Brien. Stop pointing fingers at the Teamsters Union. Look in the mirror. I mean, I had a heated discussion 2 weeks ago with Chuck Schumer.
Whoa, that's an ugly guy. Whoa, let's go back. I don't want that guy on my screen for like a minute. But he makes a good point, and that's the notion that a lot of Democrats are thinking. Like, okay, hey, especially people who are a little bit older than myself, who's been in more elections. Like, hey, Democrats, hey, listen, I need you to listen. I've been voting for you all my life. I've been a loyalist to the Democratic Party. I'm starting to feel like this love isn't shared. It's not a two-way road here. And I'm starting to look at the receipts, and it's not adding up. That's the type of conversations I'm starting to have with real people, like people who vote, you know what I'm saying? And that's literally how I feel. I used to be, a proclaimed Democrat, but this past year, especially when you start looking at the history, start digging a little deeper into the policies and some of the weird fumbles, is like, why did that happen? Like with Bernie Sanders, once again, I will never understand why it happened the way it happened. Like I know why, and I seen it, but it still just throws me off. Like, you guys don't care about what your voters want. Clearly don't care. So you're starting to lose people. And just like he said, like, they have a large core of people who will support the party that's for them. Now, he's going to start talking about, Republicans, they're saying that they're the party, or they want to be the party for unions and the working people. And it's like, that's a weird statement, because it's like, those are the same people who said we want to abolish abortion, but at the same time, we want you to have freedom and rights. It's like, you're lying to me. Can you stop doing that?
I mean, I had a heated discussion 2 weeks ago with Chuck Schumer, and it got fucking ugly.
Chuck Schumer is a piece of shit.
And it got ugly because, these politicians, the one thing I've learned, they fucking walk in and they tell you, I did this for you. Okay, great. Let me tell you what you haven't fucking done for us or our members. And we got into it pretty heavy, and I'm like, you had no problem taking $550,000 from me 3 weeks prior to me going on the Republican National Convention, and then you want to be a fucking tough guy on Twitter or X or whatever it is and throw shit out there about me, like, whatever.
To support the party, support the campaign. Yeah. The Teamsters Union has historically endorsed a candidate, right?
Right.
A presidential candidate, and this is one of the first times.
Two times we haven't. 1976 we didn't endorse, and 1996 we didn't endorse.
Okay, so for the first time in 30 years now that you guys haven't done it.
And again, the reason why we didn't endorse in 1996 Clinton, because we endorsed him in 92, and look, he created NAFTA, and it fucked a lot of our members over, and we lost jobs as a result of it. So we couldn't endorse him. And
why would he do it though?
Why? Because who are they beholden to? They're not, even though they say we're beholden to working people, we're beholden to middle class, we're beholden to American worker. They're beholden to, look, all
money.
These money and the next opportunity.
And that should be clear to every single voter, not only Democrats, but Republicans too. All of them just share into that corporate money, those super PACs, and that's who they're beholden to. If someone's giving you $500,000, $1 million, hey, $30,000, it can be anything. If they are giving you large sums of money, it's not for free. It's not because they think you're an amazing person. Okay, like I've never been in prison, but I've heard this scenario. If you go into your jail cell and you see a piece of chocolate on your pillow, don't eat the chocolate, because if you eat that chocolate, whoever put that on your pillow is going to want something in return. And trust me, it's not a piece of candy. Well, it's your candy and he wants your candy. So if you ever go to prison, which I hope you don't eat the chocolate, because you're going to owe people a little bit more than some chocolate, all right? So that's the same way with politics. These big corporate companies, these donors, they're giving all this money for a reason. And like I said, not just because you're pretty, not because you're a fancy talker, they want something out of you. And unfortunately, the average citizen can't give as much as these super PACs. We're never going to be able to compete with that. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to screw us over before they screw them over. So, I mean, that's pretty simple to understand, right? I think so.
Right? Because you're not there a long time, right? And, you know, the next opportunity, it's like, what's his name? The guy that looks like fucking Bradley Cooper, the governor of California, Newsom. That guy is bought and paid for by big tech. You know, he's had the opportunity to protect the general public and his constituents from AI, from autonomous vehicles, from all this bullshit that we talked about earlier. And we, the union men and women, actually got him to stay in office as a result of that recall. We went out and worked hard for him. And what's he do? He fucking vetoes all these protections against artificial intelligence, against Uber, against Lyft, all this bullshit. And these are the people that we were supporting.
Right.
Like, are you shitting me? Seriously.
So they're turning their back on you. So now you guys aren't supporting.
So listen, I can't speak for any other unions, but I'm going to speak for the Teamsters Union. I represent 1.3 million members, and you know, we've said all along, we took over. Like, we want a return on our investment. We want to be like big business. We make an investment, we want a return. And that return with these politicians are supporting our issues. That's going to protect jobs and promote unionization throughout the whole country. And, you know, they've let us down. They've let us down. And you know what? I'm a person, I think probably to my own fault. My mother keeps saying, you keep fighting with all these fucking politicians, you're going to get us all audited. Well, that's okay, right?
Audit, I thought kill, but that's how they do it
That's all right.
first.
They better get up early, you know? Can't kill the willing, you know what I mean, Theo?
Yeah, dude. Take me.
Hey, tell that to Israel, because they think they can just kill just rebellion and resistance. They think they could bomb ideas, you know, but hey, so one point that he did make was the Republican Party are kind of hinting that they could be the party for unions. They could be the party for the average working man. And if you don't have to even be deep into politics to know that that's not the Republican Party's MO. Like, that's never really been them, or at least to my knowledge. Okay, I'm not like, you know, just going back, you know, into 1930s. Like, okay, I'm talking about within my life, within my time frame, they've never propped themselves up to be for the working man, for unions. And so I did a little searching just real quick, like, hey, what is Trump's, you know, policies that he's implemented? What is some of his stance? What are some of the conversations he had with unions and just the working people? And we didn't have to look too far. Like in 2018, he implemented some executive orders, which was literally against the union parties and what they're working for. But you don't even have to go that far back, because unfortunately, his best buddy, Elon Weirdo Musk, I'm gonna figure out a good name for him, but this, you need to be careful on who you align yourself with, because if you want to be the party of unions and the working people and making sure job security, higher wages is possible to give to the American people, you can't align yourself with someone like Elon Musk. Like, that's like water and oil. Like, it doesn't mix. It's not a good look, you know. So let's go ahead and see this conversation.
The United Auto Workers Union says it filed charges
and this was a month ago, so
Tuesday, against former President Donald Trump and billionaire Elon Musk over comments made Monday night during a conversation on X, formerly known as Twitter.
You're the greatest cutter. I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay, you're all gone.
Trump's comments was seen by some as him praising what's known as union busting, while Musk never directly responded to Trump's comments during the live conversation. Both men are named in the charges. Trump's campaign calls it a frivolous lawsuit. Sean Fain, the president of the UAW, spoke to my colleague Robert Costa on America Decides earlier today.
Employers need to be held accountable in this country when they break the law. It is a federal right of workers to go on strike, and they cannot be fired for that. But, you know, people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they laugh about firing people because they can care less about people and about their jobs and what they do to their careers. All they care about is the billionaire buddies and taking more wealth.
So just watching that, do you get a sense of the Republican Party ever being serious when it comes to being for unions, being for the protection of workers and making sure they're not getting screwed over by their employers, which is easy for them to do? Just read some stuff and you'll see how employers will exploit just about every aspect of the relationship between an employer and employee. They will plenty of times, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it. I've seen it plenty of times myself. I'm 37 years old. I had plenty of jobs, and it's obvious, and it's almost like expected, which is kind of sad. Like, to expect that your job is going to take advantage of you, whether due is long, extremely long work hours, the awkward work hours, just overtime, and when it comes to the low wages, compiling duties and not getting just that's not reflecting in your pay. It's a lot of ways they can exploit that. And you literally have Donald Trump, who's been president and running again, having the audacity to laugh with another billionaire who's been known to just fire people for, I mean, in my opinion, for no reason or very little reason. And it's like, that's who you think is going to protect your jobs. You think that person is going to protect you from not getting fired or facing repercussions for trying to unionize. You think he's going to protect you. Well, if Jesus Christ, if you think Donald Trump is going to protect you, I got a few bridges and a desert to sell you. Just let me know in the comments and send me the money. Okay, make sure you send that to me first, and then I will ship a bridge to you. Trust me, take my word for it. Okay, since you want to take Donald Trump's word that he's going to protect your job, please trust me. You know what I'm saying? So once again, it's really important, and you know, I don't think, you know, a lot of higher ups when it comes to the Democratic Party are ever watching channels or videos like this, but you need to make sure that you're taking care of your voters, because if you don't have voters, you're not going to win. And if you don't win, you're going to lose your job, essentially. Like, that's pretty simple. We keep you in office, not vice versa. You need us more than we need you. Trust me. And last note, before I end, something like this would be amazing for third parties to make their stance. You know, long story short, Republicans, we know, is not going to take care of your jobs. They're not going to protect you from getting exploited. They're not going to take care of you when it comes to repercussions of trying to unionize. And we know the Democratic Party just don't care. They're taking advantage of your vote, and they're giving you very little back for your vote. So vote third party, because we will do that, and yada, 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 and go into policy, boom, boom, boom. Like, it's easy. So I don't know. I'm just some crazy guy on YouTube. But if you disagree with anything that I've said in this video, let me know in the comments down below. And like always, let's have that conversation.